Chastity, the social media influencer and rockstar killer. Maria, from Miami. And Lucy, aspiring actress. Sydney, hip-hop lover and writer, so I'm told. And my quiet one, Mackenzie. Well, hello, ladies. I'm Bella. I have a question for everyone. Why do you think rich men cheat? Control.
I'm going home.
Don't go.
Attention.
You bring the total package to the table. You just need the right friends.
Are you my friend?
No, but you can be mine.
And power.
I stuck my neck out for you.
Thank you!
And I pulled the strings to get you onto this show.
Take all three away, and he becomes desperate.
So, what's with the apples?
Well, it represents knowledge, wisdom, beauty, and power. Here, you will learn how to gain ownership of all.
I'm gonna send you the money for the ticket, and I already have your room set up at the Palms.
You do that, babe.
Because once you have possession of the apple, no man alive will have power over you.
You make it sound so easy.
Oh, it's not easy.
Brett, look, I'm sorry.
Save it. Save it.
I get no auditions.
I'm gonna stop you right there.
I get no callbacks.
I really need to get upstairs. They stole all my money.
I don't know who the fuck you think you are, but you're no better than the rest of us.
Right now, they have a do not disturb until this afternoon. If they call you, great.
How is he gonna call me if he doesn't?
If not, charge it to the game.
Make no mistake, ladies. In order to succeed in this game, you must be willing to play it out till the very end.
This business is all types of savage. What are you doing?
But if you follow my blueprint, I guarantee you will become a millionaire within the next 3 years. Possibly way earlier. So, are you ready to take that step?
Another day, another dollar. Ain't about money, don't you holla. 100 miles and racing, and that money conversation been my only motivation, yeah.
One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's the 10 pod commandments. What's up? Your boy. Heaven Hollywood, we're back. Heaven Hollywood Experience. Back with another stream. If y'all can hear me, put a 1 in the chat so I'll know that y'all can hear me. If I got to make any adjustments, let me know. Got a lot of things to talk about for a long time, so I make sure we fill out these hours. Okay? We're going to talk about everything that you're seeing in pop culture and hip hop and celebrity news and gossip and politics that affect pop culture and pop culture that affects politics. But only that. We're not going to get into, the deep politics. We're just going to get into the stuff that, affects pop culture, the Epstein files, Pam Bondi now at first was saying that she wasn't going to testify. Now that they said they put out there that they will arrest her, now all of a sudden she's saying she wants to testify. So it's going to be interesting to see what Pam Bondi has to say when she's under oath. She is so indebted to Trump. I know Trump has some stuff on her because she's the type that'll go right, won't care that she is under oath and lie for Trump. But you don't worry, as soon as Trump is out of office, they're going to arrest Pam Bondi. And she's going to be looking for Trump to save her. And he ain't going to be able to save her. What's up? Today I'll be giving a link. If anybody wants to come on, a lot of people have a lot to say, in my chats and my comments. So I was like, hey, listen, should let people come on and talk. So make sure you can hear me. Y'all hear me out there? Hold on. If you're on Twitch, if you're on the IE network, or if you're joining me on X, aka Twitter. So let me tap in. Make sure you can hear me. Make sure you can hear me. Okay, I'm loud and clear on YouTube, so that means I'm loud and clear on Twitch. Let me just tap into Twitch. I'll tap into Twitch and see what's going on over there. Because I'm good on YouTube, right? I'm going to assume I'm good on Twitter. If y'all can hear me out there. Twitter, people that are listening on Twitter, y'all can type. A lot of people don't know that they can type on Twitter, right? A lot of y'all don't know y'all can type. You just have to click open chat. You just got to click open the chat and y'all can type on Twitter. So we're going to be getting into a lot of stuff today. I'm going to start getting amped up. I'm starting to feel a little better now, so I'm getting more to myself. And we're going to be talking about Nicki Minaj possibly crashing the Met Gala. We'll talk about what we know about that. Megan Thee Stallion, after getting a lot of support after the breakup of Klay Thompson, we notice now, since she did that latest post with a porn star, now a lot of people that was giving her support are starting to take the support back. And a lot of the incels and the men that were saying Megan was a garden tool are saying, see what we told you? Even though when she was with Klay Thompson, she was not doing that. Okay? Let's keep it a buck. When she was with Klay Thompson, she wasn't doing that. So she could very well just be doing that, right? Because she's hurt. So what way to get over a dude, right? Get over with a new chick, Megan likes the Goyles too. We know that. So let's see here. We'll talk about that. A lot of Drake fans are triggered by Jay-Z. Jay-Z in another interview. He got people triggered again. Got Drake fans triggered. Nicki Minaj fans triggered. From a simple interview with the New York Times, where he was talking about pretty much acting your age, right? Hold on, guys. Yeah, so pretty much acting your age, and they're getting offended. But it's always the youngins, always the young guys like academics that say, "Old niggas, oh you old niggas, oh you old niggas." Leave it to the young heads. Y'all need to leave it to the YNs. Give it up. You had your time. Isn't that the type of things academics say? But now, since his fave is up there in Unk territory, you know, Drake is 40. Let's keep it a buck. Drake is Unk now. He's Unk. Isn't that's crazy to even think about? Remember, Drake was just 25 sitting on 25 mil. Remember that? Remember when he was 25 sitting on 25 mil? That was 15 years ago. That fast. Just like that. Now he's Unk. So he got to start rapping about Unk sort of topics. Unk got to start rapping about Unk topics. Right? So because Jay-Z said that, Drake fans got offended. And Nicki Minaj fans know he wasn't talking to her, but they're going to use Drake, right? They're going to use Drake because they know they sound crazy saying Jay-Z was talking about Nicki, so they got to use Drake. What's up, Darius? Darius said he's got a feeling she got popped in the Met Gala. Okay, we're going to talk about that again today. We didn't really talk about it much yesterday, but we want to talk about it again today, and I want you to tell me why you think that. I want you to tell me, do you really think that or you hope that? It's two different things. So tell me whether you really think that or whether you just hope that. Right? It'll be interesting if she does do that because, hey, if she really does do that, that's wild. Right? Summary. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about, again, Megan Thee Stallion. But I'm going to wait to tell you. Okay, cool. Cool. And do the topic. All right, cool. We're going to do that. Darius, I'll be happy to hear that. Cardi B, she mentioned the Amex card, right? Remember when Cardi B came out and mentioned the Amex card before Nicki Minaj mentioned that Amex card was stolen? Let's not forget. For a lot of people that said Cardi B was capping. Cardi B mentioned that Amex card being missing before Nicki Minaj did. Just like how Nicki Minaj said she knows about certain things that's happening behind the scenes. She knows about when people are going to release their album. So, and I believe that. I also believe Cardi B, and I thought that there was something to that because that was real random. That was real random. It was real random for her to come out and say, oh yeah, that N-word waits till he lets her crash out on the, the cocoa or the whatever the case may be, pills or whatever. And he waits till she's so stoned so he can get away with her car and she not really notice it. And I thought that was random when she said that. I'm like, wait a minute, what? Then, just less than a week after that, Tasha K said something about being diagnosed with schizophrenia. And something about some dude, some stylist, stealing her American Express card, whatever his name was. Then she said that Ra Ali helped her. Ra Ali was in cahoots with him. Now, mind you, she never said, we never heard Nicki Minaj say it, but Tasha K said Nicki Minaj is the one who told her. That's how she knows. So if it's a lie, Tasha K told it. All right? So we're going to talk about that. Like I said again, we're going to talk about Megan Thee Stallion out with Kaden Cole, I believe her name is. She used to be one of my favorite points. I worked with Kaden Cole. And she is a legitimate porn star. She's not an OnlyFans girl. She's not an escort. She's not a content creator. She is a full-blown adult film star. So she's out there with her. A lot of people are now trying to take back their support. Also, we're going to talk about Ashley Janae, whose body is back. But it came, her body is back home in the States. They're preparing for a funeral next week. But still no sign of Joe. What's the guy's name? Joe something. I remember his name, but her fiance. Still no sign of him. They said that he was detained in Tanzania, but there's been no sign of him and nothing. The family has not spoken to him as well. Now, if you are and engaged with someone and it's a tragedy and something mistakenly happened, even if she takes her own life or something else happens, why wasn't the husband or the fiance the first one on the horn saying, whatever you guys need, I'll take care of? Since he's supposed to be a millionaire and all, why didn't he say, I'll take care of whatever you need to take care of? What's up, Couture? Long time no see, baby girl. So that was red flag right there. Why having Joe said, whatever whatever she needs since she took herself out of. She was my fiance. We just got engaged. The family don't have to worry about anything. And why wasn't he the first one calling him, letting them know? Speaking of Joe's, listen. A lot of people sending me the clips. Oh, the Joe Budden. Oh, she was really good friends with Joe Budden. Step up. Listen. I don't care about none of that. Joe Budden, I heard you say on the microphone, I'll be in touch with the family, or I'll be calling them with the family, and whatever they need, we make sure that they got it. Okay. She needed that body flown back. She needed an autopsy. You got that, Joe? Because you got it. Do you got that, Joe? Because you got it. So don't come telling me on the mic about what type of person she was, how great she was, and this, that, and the third. I'm sure she was. I had a conversation with Ashley Janae in the past. But don't come on trying to, what's the word? Front and say, whatever the family needs, I got it. If that's the case, that GoFundMe should have never been up. Should have never been up. You should have been the GoFundMe. You should have go and funded them. That GoFundMe should have never been up if Joe Budden says that was his good friend, and we know you're a multimillionaire. It's going to cost you about, what, 100 racks? That's all they probably needed to take care of everything. You got that. You know? You damn sure wanted everybody to know that you knew her. So all that great stuff you said about her, I'm sure it's true. But I don't want to hear how much you cared about her and how close y'all was if I see a GoFundMe up on her account. You should have told that family, take that thing down. I got you. How much you need? Right? And if he didn't do that, he's got plenty of people on his Patreon that they pay every month for. He could have said, listen, I'm going to take everybody's monthly payment, and this month I'm going to donate their monthly payment to Ashley. And he didn't. I don't want people to say, oh, maybe he did it in private. No. If he did it in private, he'd say something. If he did it in private, they wouldn't have a GoFundMe up. So it looks as though her ring is reportedly not on her finger. The engagement ring, a lot of people saying if that engagement ring is not there, either the police took it back or Joe took it back. Not Joe Budden, to Joe the fiance. We don't talk about that. We don't talk about Pam Bondi, who all of a sudden says, okay, you got me, I'll testify. They about to tell Pam Bondi, you about to be held in contempt of court. If you don't get your white ass up here and testify, girl, you're going to wish you had. They didn't say that, but that's just me, paraphrasing. Get your bony ass up here and testify before we make you wish you had her. So she said, okay. I'm going to testify. But I fully expect Pam Bondi to go up there and lie. Fully expect her to lie for Donald Trump. Because we all know or have heard the things that went on with her and Donald Trump for years. We all heard about those things. Those rumors exist with Donald Trump and a lot of other women that work for him. Whew, this food is spicy. Like I said, we're going to talk about Jay-Z and how he got every time. Listen, Jay-Z is the only guy that every time he goes on an interview, it only takes an interview, and everybody's writing think pieces. Everybody's writing think pieces and videos and 4, 5, 6 videos. It's like, dog. He didn't mention those names. Why are y'all spiraling? Why are Drake fans spiraling like academics? Why are they spiraling? Oh, he's talking about Drake. Is he? Y'all hollering like a hit dog. Being sued by a white woman. Are you going to talk about the black woman programmed being sued by a white woman? Hold on. You know, I think I did hear about that. Hold on a second. Kenji, I thought you were going to hit me up for the collab. We could have collabed on that. You didn't hit me up. Hit me up on my Instagram, Heaven Hollywood _Clark. I was looking for you to hit me up, so that's something that we can combine on, right? So here's the thing. Yeah, that's something that we can collab, because you mentioned a collab yesterday, and I'm with it. So to me, and we're about to get into all these topics. We're going to search through, of course, like we always do before we start the show. Search through Twitter, see if something, something attracts us that we can speak on as a group, and then we'll get into the topics. But that's what we're doing, man. It's your boy, Heaven Hollywood. It's the Heaven Hollywood Experience. What's today? April 29th, 2026. So we come back, man. We're going to get into these things. Got a lot of stuff to talk about. It's your boy, Heaven Hollywood, on Heaven Hollywood Experience. Man, let's go.
Gotta get to see something. Look, one way or another, we gon' get our family up about the gutter. Brother, you was out of pocket, no, I didn't stutter. I drop it back in the trap when investing in the streets, your treasures recover. In this world, you could only rep one or two things that come to the butter. Whoa, you only rep one or two things that the guns in the butter. Whoa, you only rep one or two things that the guns in the butter. I drop it back in the trap when investing in the streets, your treasures recover. In this world, you could only rep one or two things that come to the butter. Sleeping patterns kinda complicated, ain't no time for wasting, we some entrepreneurs. I feeling like Scarface on top of the balcony, the word is yours. Took some losses, I was down bad. Napoleon complex, I'm mad, about to put the cam up in the clad bag. Signed, sealed, and delivered. Chicken dinners or you roll with the winners. Taking over for the summer. I double back for the winter. I be with the scammers and spinners. Innovators in the middle, man. All my riders got a dental plan. None of my shooters got Instagrams. Bang, bang. Got some rich headed out of bounds. Had to hop in the Renty to ride around. About to switch up the whisk cause they stalking now. Whispering body dropping on my side of town. Flick of finesse. Known to stay up out the mess. Business is never personal. We can politic the rest. I got a plug and they made me a plug. All my moves on they need to know. Rapper weed got me speaking slow, bet you pay attention when we speaking up. Give a drown, you gon' sink or you swim. In the field, we be getting it in. Type of pressure that your boys and the men. One way or another, we gon' get our family up about together. Brother, you was out of pocket, no I didn't stutter. I drop it back in the trap when investing in the streets, your treasures recover. In this world, you could only rep one or two things that come to the butter. You only rep one or two things that come to the butter.
It's your boy! Hey, Iowa! Hey, Hollywood Experience. Welcome to another show. April 29th, we're at the end of April already. May's coming in. All right? All the May babies. Oh, man. I used to date a chick. Her birthday is the same birthday as Chris Brown. It's May 5th. Man, I'll tell you. Them Tauruses, right? Let me tell you something. She was a young chick, too. Good grace of the life. Had me all sorts of fucked up. That's why I don't mess with young chicks no more, man. You know, she wasn't a teenager, like, but she was younger than me. In her 20s. Man, she was a handful. She was a handful. I said, oh, forget it. Handful. But I was able to, that was one of those relationships, right, where it's like, you ask God to please take you out of this situation because you know you're not going to leave the situation. So I'm like, God, please do something to get me out of this. Because if not, I'm not going to leave it. And I seriously asked God for that. I was like, yo, how am I going to get out of this toxic, yet tantalizing and exciting relationship? Like, damn, it's toxic, but every day is something new with this broad. So, and then every time I was like, yo, I'm out of here. Currently going through a lot right now. So that's a heavy question, Kenji. Currently going through a lot right now, and I wish you, I definitely keep you in prayer and wish you, better luck to come. A lot of us are going through a lot of things right now. And I think when you ask that question, it's pretty much all about your belief, just like how people would say, well, how do you know the devil's real? I mean, it's just really what you believe in, right? Because that question, a lot of people would always ask and say, well, if God is real, then why is there death? And if God is real, then why do babies get killed? And I get it, but I always say that the negative part and the evilness part of life, I always say it is devil's work. Because just like I believe there's a God, I believe there's a devil too. Now, a lot of people don't believe in that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't believe in that. But me, I'm a PK, as they call it, a preacher's kid. So if you got that installed in you from birth, right? And like I was forced to go to church every Sunday, 2 times a day on Sunday, right? Until I was 18 years old. And then once I turned 18, I was still living in my parents' house. So it was like, Negro, I don't care if you're 18. You still living under my roof. You going to church on Sunday twice. And like I said, Kenji, definitely hit me up. Definitely hit me up because I feel you on that. I feel you on that. Good people get the short end of the stick. And I feel you on that. And the devil has a way of making you feel that way. You know what I'm saying? He has a way of making you feel that way. I think I'm gonna start a religious channel too. You know what I mean? I know a Bible back and forth. I've read the entire Bible at some point in my life. I have read the entire Bible. You know, totally. Not sat down and started from Genesis and went to Revelations, but I have definitely read the entire Bible. Right? You would subscribe to it? I'm thinking about it. I've always thought about that, but I'm like, will anybody come watch that? You know what I mean? Everybody's such into drama and into negativity. And then you find yourself like covering that because let's just be honest. When people say, all you doing that for is clicks and views. Well, yeah. That's what we're all doing it for. That's what we're all doing it for, really. You're not doing it for free. You're not coming on YouTube every day. Okay. Well, then you would watch me then. You know, you're not coming on YouTube every day or Twitch or wherever you're at. If they said, hey, you can talk all day long, but we're not going to pay you. Not a lot of people would do that. Not in today's age. Not today's. If there was absolutely no way to monetize their content, they said, "Oh yeah, just talk. Because you like to talk, we're going to give you our platform. You could talk all day and all night if you want, and tell people to come listen to you and send third. But we're not going to pay you to do it." Not a lot of people would do it in today's day and age, right? So you do have to be about, especially if you got a family, you got bills, which everybody has, you're going to want to talk about something you can monetize. But if I'm monetizing other stuff, then I wouldn't feel so bad or so anxious to monetize my religious platform. I could just do that just to give back, So I'm gonna think about it. I'm just like, I want y'all to, I'm having a Protect Women channel that I'm starting. Now, if anybody follows me, y'all will know that at one point in time, I started a Protect Black Women channel. We talk about the Black women getting killed, by boyfriends, ex-boyfriends, husbands, ex-husbands, stalkers, guys they just met. And then what happened is some white females started hitting me up like, yo, I've been following you, since, for almost 10 years, and I'm not Black, I'm white, and I'm one of your biggest supporters. I actually lost a viewer because of that. she wasn't black, and I was like, yo, I'm gonna start a protect black women. Like, I started getting into the crimes of the men that was killing black women. And then we would go on stream and I would call them up. Like, I would call up the local police department and find out where the hell they were in the case. And then I would go live and give everybody updates. And people used to like that, right? But then some of my white subscribers are like, oh, so all you care about is white women? You don't care about black women? But I've been your viewer from like day one, right? So they got mad and was like, I'm not unsubscribe. But I didn't mean to. So after that happened, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna not do that and just try to do a protect women's channel altogether. Right. So let's go in and before we go into some of these topics, hold on. We're going to go over Twitter because Twitter is tripping. Like a lot of people, man. A lot of people are still hit me up on my tweets, right? Bomb revealed the key bomb and she rejected. Okay. Now, so we're gonna top in. Let's go over. I'm gonna share the screen, right? And go over some of these trending tweets. We'll see if anything sparks any of your attention. Now, a little disclosure. A little disclosure. We're going to look at this real quick. A little disclosure. On my Twitter, for everyone that knows me, right, you will know that for some time in the early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s, in order to get a job in the industry as a producer, writer for film and TV, I had to get a credit. Like, so back then they were like, it was more like, do you have any experience? Like, have you done this before? And I was like, no, but I had a communications degree fresh out of college, right? Out of Hofstra University. So I thought that was going to do something, right? But then I go to the entertainment industry and they're like, you ain't got no experience? Like, have you worked on anything before? I'm like, no, I'm trying to get experience. That's why I'm trying to get experience right now. And they were like, for you to get a job here, I was trying to get a job at ESPN at the time as a off-screen producer and writer, or the scripts for the show, right? They were like, you got to have some sort of production experience or director experience, something. So one of my good friends was a porn star at the time. And she's like, you should produce porn. She was like, you know bad bitches, right? She was like, you should produce porn because that is still a credit. That's still a TV. It's still that you'd be down as a producer of movies, of TV, short TV series, whatever it is, right? And she was like, and you can use that on your resume. So I was like, what? So I ended up doing it, like a couple of girls that I knew. And then I knew a couple, she was already in the game. Me and her knew like two of the same people who was already doing it. Then I got this other girl who had never did it before. But I was like, I'm going to manage you. Like, I'm going to produce this, whatever, right? So then she got into it. So across my timeline, you will from occasionally see a porn star or two. Because like I'm really cool with a lot of them, right? So don't get discouraged or offended. I try to keep it off the screen as much as possible, all right? But it does happen. A lot of porn stars follow me. I follow a lot of them. So it's going to happen. All right, let's go over some of these things. Before we jump into the topics. So this is breaking. This just dropped. Okay. This just dropped, y'all. This just dropped. So hold on. Let me. I'm off the screen. Y'all can hear me, right? Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me before we get into this. I want to make sure everybody can hear exactly what I'm saying. I see my mic going up, and it looks like everything is cool. Remember to grab us on Twitch. Hey, Couture. So fine, so. It's too fine for our own good. Oh. All right. Couture, that's a fine black woman there, boy. Too fine for our own good. All right. So here's a list, right? This is supposedly the richest rappers of all time list, right? Now, I don't know when some of these people became billionaires, but we just go on what Complex said, right? Top 50 richest rappers of all time. So, right off the gate at number 1 is broke ass. No. Hold on. This list is not real. Joe Budden is not worth $500 million. Joe Budden is not worth more money than Lil Wayne and Kendrick Lamar. Joe Budden, stop it. Stop it. I don't even want to look at this list anymore. They have to be joking, right? So, come on, bro. They said Joe Budden is worth more money than LL Cool J, Busta Rhymes, Ludacris. These are people who are in movies. T.I., like Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, Ice Cube. Like, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. This has to be a joke. It ain't April Fool's. Maybe it's May Fool's. Like, stop. I put in here, is Joe Budden worth $500 million? No, Joe Budden is not worth $500 million. Based on reports from July 2025, his net worth is estimated to be between $20 and $25 million. Why is Complex? Is this Complex saying this? Why is Complex saying Joe Budden is worth $500 million? Drake is not worth $1.6 billion. I don't think Kanye West is worth 1.2 anymore. Diddy is not worth 1.1 anymore. 50 Cent is not worth $850 million. Seems like they're trying to make these people that they like be worth more money. Based on financial reports, as of early 2026, 50 Cent is not worth $850 million. While he is a highly successful entrepreneur, his estimated net worth is significantly lower, typically in a range of $40 million to $100 million. Like, where are they getting these numbers from? Yeah, they said that Joe Budden has got more money than LL Cool J. LL Cool J, who's been rapping since he's 16 years old and did multiple movies and is currently on a TV show, has been on a TV show for over 10 years straight. And they're saying Joe Budden has more money than him. Like, stop it. Stop it. So this list is already wrong. The only one that they're probably right about is Jay-Z. Right. Watch this. And I'm on the underground site, the real site. That not a lot of people know about. So I said, I put in the underground site, is Jay-Z worth $2.8 billion? Yes. According to reports in 2026, Jay-Z's net worth is estimated at $2.8 billion. So that they have correct, right? They have that correct. Next on their list is Drake. So they got Drake higher than Dr. Dre. I guess they don't consider Dr. Dre a rapper, right? 1.6 billion. So Jay-Z, they said, is correct. This is the underground site. Is Drake worth 1.6 billion? No. As of early 2026, Drake's net worth is estimated to be approximately about $500 million. Now, Drake in the long haul could be worth more than that. I know Nicki Minaj once said that Drake was a billionaire, but then again, people started saying Nicki Minaj was a billionaire, and she never corrected them. So take that information for what it's worth. All right? But Nicki did say, oh, he's a billionaire. Now, Drake might be closer to a billionaire than 500 billion, but his last couple of years, he's not made the same amount of money that he's made prior. All right? And I don't think Kanye West is no longer worth $1.6 billion either. We'll tap in with that. And this is the underground site, y'all. So this is pretty much, you know. Kanye West's net worth is not generally considered to be $1.6 billion, following a sharp decline from his former billionaire status in 2022, while he claimed $2.77 billion valuation in 2025 based on Yeezy trademark ownership. Other reports have estimated his worth to be significantly lower, often citing around $400 million. Remember, he took a big hit with Adidas, Yeezys, and everything else. If y'all can hear me, please put a 1 in the chat. Everybody that can hear me, put a 1 in the chat, please. If you're on Twitch, it's twitch.tv. If you want to join me on Twitch, it's twitch.tv/Heaven Hollywood. All right? If you're going to join me on Twitch. Now, the delay is not that long. Y'all be playing in my face. If Nicki Minaj went live, right? If Nicki Minaj went live and came in here and said, what I want is for everyone to put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me, Barbs. All y'all niggas will be putting 1. Now, I know I ain't got a fat ass like Nicki Minaj. And I know I ain't rich as Nicki Minaj. But if you can hear me, could you please put a 1 in the chat so I'll know? I don't want nobody to come back to me later. Oh, you were choppy. Oh, couldn't really hear you. Let me see something here. Let me see something. Mia Moore, thank you. Mia Moore's the only one that can hear me. I hear myself. Mia Moore, thank you. Mia Moore's the only one that can hear me. I mean, I'm clear as day. I'm clear as day. So Mia Moore, thank you for letting me know you can hear me. I want to make sure I'm not talking to myself. You know what I'm saying? Let's move on to something else. See what else we got here. So that was a complex list. We're going to get into Jay-Z with this. Talk about authenticity rap. Ahmed Drake feud echoes. Like, hold on. Here we go. See what else we got going on in here. Oh, my goodness. I gotta get a new computer, y'all, because this should be bugging me out. This little Chromebook, and then The other one is a Hewlett Packard, but it's kind of old. And it don't be doing what I wanted to do. Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Is anyone dating a porn star at Cocktail? All right. Now, Mac Wop. We're going to talk about Mac Wop. If y'all remember, right? Mac Wop was the guy that I believe Nicki Minaj had made a comment about. I think she said that he was threatening her. Thank you, Mia Moore. Thank you. Appreciate it. Cows, what's up, Cows? So, Mac Moore was the dude that, remember, he was online and then Nicki Minaj had said, oh, they got people threatening me. And when that whole thing with Kendrick was going on, well, he's back commenting again, right? Let me tell y'all what he's saying. Commenting on the whole Nicki Minaj thing with Kenneth Petty. You know, the report that Kenneth Petty's new address is in New York. And then Vlad tweeted it, and then everybody actually ran with that. I mean, it was true. He does have a New York address stated as his registered address. So let's take a look to see what this dude, Mac Wop, I believe he's a part of Kendrick's crew. Let me see what he's talking about. It's about Nicki Minaj and Kenneth Petty. Let's see what he got to say.
Yeah, man, I heard allegedly too. Hey, Nikki, I heard your husband got a whole bitch pregnant out here. Wow. Hey, Chad, is it true that Nikki husband got a female pregnant? Now, listen, I should have, because this is our freestyle. I should have had this prepared so I could properly clown this lady. You know what I'm saying? So I could properly clown this lady. This all allegedly too, though. Well, you know, she already trying to get me caught up by the feds. Let me see if I can find it. But look, world, I did a stream a long time ago trying to tell this lady that this man ain't happy over there. Like, you be upstairs yelling, screaming at the iPhone. You ain't got no food on the table. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got no food on the table. Your body look booty look hard. So me as a man, I already knew he wasn't happy at home. Like, you washed. So fast forward for me to find out that this man allegedly got someone pregnant. Hopefully they of age. Hopefully they of age. Now you trying to get a divorce. Listen, man, it is sad out here. It is sad because, like, first of all, you built like a span top. And once I start peeping you pop out like that, I was like, oh yeah, that nigga cheating, homie. Let me see if I can find it. I tried to warn this lady, but she ain't want to listen. She wanted to call her FBI. You know what I'm saying? She wanted to call the FBI on the boy, and I'm like, you sis, I'm trying to give you game. You dig? I'm trying to give her game, but she ain't want to take my advice, world. And now look, you looking pitiful. I'm trying to see if I can find. I'm trying to see if I can find this.
And like, if we being real, I feel a way how you used to be doing my safari. From go to Trinidad, okay? Get out of LA, get out of wherever the.
I'm a cold nigga, bro. I'm really sick, bro. I swear to God.
Female artist.
I'm sick, but yeah, man. Shout out to the shouts out, man. You feel me, ladies?
So that was Matt Watt. And again, I'm gonna make sure I say it here on this show, because she ain't gonna be sending me no cease and desist or no including me in a lawsuit, nothing like that. It has not been confirmed that Kenneth Petty got anybody pregnant other than Nicki Minaj. I mean, well, he has got other people pregnant. But it has not been confirmed that Kenneth Petty got anybody pregnant after he did Nicki Minaj. It has not been confirmed that Nicki Minaj and Kenneth Petty are getting a divorce. Hell, it ain't never even been confirmed that they married. So it can't be confirmed. Yeah, he definitely got other kids. He got about 4 or 5 other kids, Kenji. He got between 3 and 5 other kids. Like 3, 4 different baby mamas. One of his baby mamas be all up in my DM. I ain't even gonna hold you. She be all up in my DM. She been up in my DM for a while. So I'll tell a quick story about that real quick. How I started getting DMs from her. So as a lot of y'all know, when I got introduced to Nicki Minaj, I got introduced to my cousin. Like, she knew my cousin, right? My cousin Light. And if y'all know Light, he's been mentioned on a couple of records. He got mentioned on the Bang 'em Smurf record when Bang 'em was dissing 50 Cent, and he said, "You didn't run in no spot. Light ran in your spot." Right? 109 Light. That's my cousin. And then Nicki Minaj mentioned my cousin on her record, The Jump Off, when she said, "Call up my nigga Light and the Money Green Rover." Right? So I got introduced to Nicki Minaj early 2000s, well, like close to mid 2000s. This before she put out Pink Friday. She was working on her mixtapes. So he also knew Kenneth Petty. So what happened was, I was in Queens visiting my cousin. Well, I was actually visiting my godmother at the time. God bless her dead. And the conversation came up, and she happened to be out there, and she was like, "Oh, you got that show?" Like, she was like, "I didn't even realize." And she was like, "I'm following you." Right? Because I think I was doing a live or something outside. And she was like, "I'm following you." And then she told me who she was, and she said she was Kenneth Petty's baby mother. I said, "Say word." Then we started talking, whatever. And she was like, "Oh, let me your number, blah, blah, blah," right? So then after that, she started DMing me like a couple of months later. But yeah, he's got 3 or 4 baby mothers. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Dads, I'm keeping on a low, because she used to be like, it took her a while for this, but she thought that I was going to be like blabbing everything, right? About Nicki Minaj. But I'm not going to go do that. Like, a lot of people think I hate Nicki Minaj. I don't hate Nicki Minaj. I just don't like her antics. I think she's an amazing artist. I think she is the GOAT. Like, she's not my GOAT. Like, Missy's my GOAT. But I can see if someone says Nicki's the GOAT, I'm not going to argue with you. You know what I mean? You have every right to think she's the GOAT. Right? So, Queen of Rap and all that. I don't hate Nicki Minaj. I don't hate her as an artist. I don't know her as a person. I've met her 4 or 5 times, but I still don't know her. I even worked for her. I did a party for her, a New Year's Eve party that she hosted in Miami. And through Diddy, Free Diddy, through my boy Diddy, I got that gig to film Nicki Minaj. That's when he was still quote unquote managing Nicki Minaj. He was like, yo, let me tell you something, Playboy. You know, I want you to film something for me. You know, Nicki Minaj. I said, yeah, I know Nicki Minaj, fool. Well, she gonna be hosting a New Year's Eve party in Miami. I want you to film it for me. But the thing is, you can't take the footage home with you, Playboy. You got to give it back to me at the end of the night, and I'll pay you for it. Now, how we got that gig was through Kim K, right? Well, actually, through Kim K and Kris Jenner, because as y'all may know or may not know, Kris Jenner used to fuck Diddy, right? Kris Jenner was fucking Diddy for a minute. So we did the Kardashian party for when Kim was dating Reggie Bush, right? So when Kim was dating Reggie Bush and Reggie Bush went to the Super Bowl, we got an invite through it's so funny, like all of the link ups. So we got the Nicki party through Diddy, we got the Diddy hookup through Kim K, and we got the Kim K hookup through Kamora Lee Simmons. Kamora Lee Simmons is really the ones who made it possible for us to start our own media company. Like, we probably would have never done it if it wasn't for Kamora Lee Simmons. So Kamora Lee Simmons kind of put us on. And she had us filming. Our first filming gig was on one of her show called Kamora, the Kamora Life, or whatever it was called. The Kamora Life, or whatever. Life of Kamora, whatever. That was back in like 07, 08, something like that. So if it wasn't for Kamora, like, I would have never got into having a media company, interviews, and all that other shit. But we filmed her party, A Day in the Life of Kamora Lee Simmons. We did such a great job on that. She was like, oh, a friend of mine is doing a Super Bowl party. And I was like, okay, who is that? She was like, Kim Kardashian. I was like, what? And I was already into Kim Kardashian as it was. I was like, I used to love some Kim Kardashian, right? So when they said that, I was like, yeah, that's definitely a go. And she's like, go down you got to get down there though. You got to get down there. They'll pay you for doing it, but you got to get down on your own. So I took my crew. My crew went down there, and we filmed it for her. They gave us our check, and she was like, oh, I got a whole bunch of celebrity friends that throw parties all the time. And then that's how we got linked to Diddy, and we got our biggest gig ever was a Diddy 10 to 10. He called it 10 to 10, right? It started at 10 at night and party went to 10 in the morning. And every single celebrity under the sun was at that party. I had never seen. I think that was the one place that I was around the most celebrities in one night. I was like, damn. Everybody was there. Actors, rappers, singers, everybody, athletes. Everybody came through that spot, right? So I say this to say, what? Why did I go there? Oh. So I said that because I'm like, through all that and through my cousins, how I met Kenneth Petty's baby mother, and we still cool, right? We still. She DM'd me last week, to be honest, but yeah. So that was Matt Wop. And again, we don't know. We don't know whether that's true or not. I do know, and I did cover, right? I do know, and I did cover that, Nicki Minaj and Kenneth Petty's been having marriage problems for a while. They've been having marriage problems for a while, but that don't mean that there's something to that. Now, let's get into some of these topics, and we're going to stay on the Kenneth Petty joint because DJ Academics, right? Now, everybody knows I don't really mess with DJ Academics. But he did something very interesting here, and we have to go back. This will take us back to the whole schizophrenia, this whole Nicki is crazy. Like, for the record, I don't believe that there is nothing mentally wrong with Nicki Minaj. Not one thing. That woman's very smart. I don't think there's anything. I think that she might indulge in a thing or two, but not for nothing. There ain't nothing wrong with that lady. That lady is not crazy. I don't think she's a schizo. I don't think none of that. I just think she might indulge in some stuff, and she might just be a little delusional. But I don't think, personally, there's anything wrong with Nicki Minaj, right? I think she's a very smart woman. But DJ Academic says that Kenneth Petty is going to play the game like Keisha, what's her name? Keisha Kayor? Where everybody said that Keisha Kayor is Gucci Mane's handler. And that she hung around years and years and years so she can finally get him under her control. And now it's like Gucci Mane, they call Gucci Mane a robot. They say that Keisha Kayor controls him, and Keisha Kayor is pretty much his handler. So Academic said he believes that Kenneth Petty might be playing that same game. It's very interesting what he said, because remember, he's mentioned before that he talks to Cardi B, right? He said on numerous times, me and Cardi talk all the time. We talk on the phone. Okay. So let's see here. I'm going to. So yeah, DJ Academics is basically saying he think Kenneth Petty is playing the long game with Nicki Minaj. So
he's an ounce of smart, and he wants to play his cards correctly. His path is being Gucci's wife. No, not being Gucci's wife, but playing the role that Gucci wives plays now for Gucci. I think a lot of people look at Gucci Mane and say Gucci's wife runs the show. I think with Nicki, I think this is possible. Based on certain things I've seen, I could see Nicki getting to a point where her husband is the guy who calls all the shots. But for right now, while Nicki is still active and functioning, he got to play his role. You got to sit there and play the bitch role. I'm not calling him a bitch, but you got to just let it rock. But eventually, he's going to be tapped.
So notice he said while she is functioning and well. What did he mean by that? Right now, while Nicki is functioning and well, active and functioning. Let's run that back so y'all don't think I'm capping.
Nicki getting to a point where her husband is the guy who calls all the shots. But for right now, while Nicki is still active and functioning, he got to play his role. You got to sit there and play the bitch role. I'm not calling him a bitch, but you got to just let it rock. But eventually, he's going to be tasked for her well-being, and he'll get the keys to the empire. If I'm right. I don't know. I could be wrong. But watch how Gucci's wife played the situation. Let Gucci do what he wanted, held it down. At this point, people look at Gucci wife that she's the biggest boss, that Gucci's on her program, that Gucci's maybe sedated or medicated, right? You know, they say a lot about Nicki. I'm not saying that she'll ever be sedated or medicated, but watch the husband in all those type of situations. Always watch the person who's with the person. I think Bianca has a lot more power than y'all think she has. Y'all keep seeing her like barely clothed or scantily clad and be like, oh man, Kanye's just running her. Nah, I think with Kanye now a little bit more subdued, back on the meds, who you think is calling the shots? Who you think encouraged him to get back on that? Who you think encouraged him to do a couple things? So now when he's, I don't want to say incapacitated, but now he's a little bit more chill, more controllable. Who do you think calls the shots now? That's one way to play it, chat. So a lot of these people you might think as, okay, that's the husband, but he ain't on shit. When they're dealing with someone who's kind of all over the place, they play their role right. They play the long game. At some point, they'll run the empire. So I don't know if Kenneth did get another chick pregnant, that'll be stupid. If he's cheating on Nicki, that would be incredibly stupid. And if he was stealing money, when I don't know how Nicki is with finances, but I think Nicki would probably allow him to get whatever he wants. I think that would be incredibly stupid as well. I would think Kenneth Petty is a nigga who plays the long game. You play the.
So basically, because you put her family before her legacy. Seems he's implying, right? That's what he's implying to me. So now, Kenji, he did say he feels as though right now she is in control, but due to the 72-hour rants and sometimes just random crash outs, you know, a lot of people, even Taylor Swift, you know, around that time when Nicki did the thing about Megan, even Taylor Swift was like, yeah, you know, do thing and so it's not about, you know, 24-hour rants on Instagram, like 24-hour rants on Twitter. Like, where did that come from? You know what I mean? So everybody's like, who is she talking? Why did she come out and say that? So a lot of times when Nicki Minaj goes through these things, because we're living in the social media era, and because people see Kanye West, and because people see Britney Spears, and because people see Lindsay Lohan, because people see Amanda Bynes, and people see Orlando Anderson, whatever the hell his name is, Orlando Jones. Y'all know what the nigga name is. And Ray J. And Jaguar Wright. Right? Because we're in that era where people realize that if I go online, and it don't matter how rich they are, because DJ Academics is rich. iShowSpeed is rich. Like, all those streamers are rich, but yet and still they continue to do stuff that's going to make people stream them and make people continue to watch the show. So it don't really matter how much money you have. But if you see that you can say something and it's going to attract attention and it's going to attract and you're able to monetize it, right? you're going to say it. And when a lot of times that people see that, they start saying, oh, she's crashing out. Oh, she's having a mental breakdown. Right? So because we see that a lot, people tend, whenever Nicki comes out and just out of nowhere, just like start talking about Jay-Z. You got to remember something. Up until the time when this thing happened with the Super Bowl, Nicki Minaj had never said anything negative about Jay-Z. You could go back and look. Up until the time she had just did an interview with Joe Budden not long before that, talking about how she wants to be the female Jay-Z, and talking about how, you know, why can't we have a mogul like Jay is? So she was giving him all praise. Before that, she was saying, everybody knows I'm obsessed with Jay-Z. Let me find this. Right? Everybody knows I'm obsessed with Jay-Z. And they said, what if there was any rapper that you can, she said, Jay-Z. Is there any rapper that when you were younger, you know, you Jay-Z? And she goes, he's always been the person that you want approval from, you know, and if Jay like it. And then she tells the story about LLC, where she said, Jay said, you killed that second verse, and I went and rewrote it because he didn't say he liked the whole thing. He said only killed the second verse. So because Jay-Z said it, like, this is all stuff coming out of her mouth just prior to this Super Bowl thing. So she had no issues with Jay-Z. And Tidal was already sold. So it can't be all because he was going for Tidal, but Tidal was already sold by the time you did the interview with Joe Budden. So that's why it's hard for me to buy, oh, Jay-Z did something to her. That's why because it came out of nowhere. It said as soon as the Super Bowl snub of Wayne happened, that's when she started talking about Jay-Z. Then she stopped for a while and then started back. So when you have these random things, and when you say, when you're online, like I said before, when you're online at 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, and you're saying, Jigga Man, oh, Jigga Man, Jigga Man, why? Oh, Jigga Man, why? Let me tell you something. Do you see how fat Nicki Minaj's ass is? Right? Can you imagine being Kenneth Petty? Can you imagine being Kenneth Petty laying there in your boxers? And Nicki Minaj is in the bed in a t-shirt and panties? That fat ass poking out. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm bricked the fuck up. And she talk about some Jigga Man. I'd put her head through that damn headboard. I'll give you the Jigga Man. Hit her ass with the Ike Turner. Ah, man. Yeah, I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn, Kenji. You not trolling another nigga 3 a.m. in the morning with me laying right here next to you. Keisha, you try that. Try that with me. Keisha got that nice little body too. Keisha, try that with me. Try it. Lay next to me, 3 a.m. in your panties, right? Lay next to me, 3 a.m. in your panties, and call another nigga name, and let me decide whether you trolling or not. I'll show you how it's gonna end up. Ike Turner. How dare you with all that ass be moaning another nigga name? I don't give a fuck what you was trying to do. You better come over here and let me knock you through that headboard. Then you can say Jigga Man all you want. I bet you won't be calling for no. You be calling for the Zoo Man. What they call him, Zoo? You be calling for the Zoo Man after I get done with your ass. No, but that was wild. So Nicki Minaj had nothing against Jay-Z. It's like, and you look back at Jaguar Wright, it's like it became, I don't want to get too much off the subject, but it became that Jay-Z became the talking point of everybody. But before that, they said they had no problem with. Same thing with Jaguar Wright. I have no problem with Sean Carter. I have no problem with me and Sean Carter. Actually, we have unfinished business. I have unfinished business with Sean Carter. He's not like Cream Puff. I have a lot of respect for Sean Carter. Hold on, let me buy this Milky Way bar. How much did you say that was? $2.50. $2.50? Okay, here, take my debit. Oh, sorry, miss. Your debit declined. Decline? What do you mean decline? $2.50 you said, right? Here, try this one. Okay. My daughter got $2.50 in the bank. My 11-year-old got $2.50 in the bank, sis. You couldn't buy a Milky Way bar. Yeah, so DJ Academics, and I'm sure the Bobs. Now, the funny thing is about the Bobs, right? Let me go to the comments. Because when DJ Academics, right, when he's getting on Rock Nation, Tasha K and all the Bobs be loving Academics. Oh yeah, Academics, he on Jay-Z neck. Even Academics said that they trying to silence him, and they trying to this, that, and the other. Let me look at his comments after he said this. Now, the Bobs, y'all been loving Academics, right? Y'all been loving Academics. Let's take a look at what these comments look like. After he said that. Let's take a look. Y'all was loving DJ Academics before, huh? Let me see something. Let me see. $84,000 looked at it. Let me take a look at some of the comments. But they was loving him before. All the bars, whenever he get on Rock Nation, boy, they love it. Well, I don't really like academics, but he's telling the facts. First tweet, based on what information would he say these things about Nicki Minaj's husband? Nicki has been exposing how dirty the industry has been to her, and now Act wants to push insanity narratives. The theories sound like they coming from an alcoholic chipmunk who don't know ish, just repeating stuff he heard. I wish he would STFU about Nicki and continue to talk about the hoes. Oh, continue to talk about everybody else, right? Uh-huh. Continue to talk about everybody else. But when he said, oh, Nicki can't be touched, like Nicki's the best, they all say, I don't really like academics, but he telling facts. He could never. Nicki is bigger than her name. She is a brand, just like Taylor Swift. That will never happen. Taylor Swift got her master's taken. Remember that? Yeah, Taylor Swift is the brand, but she got scammed too, right out of her own masters. She had to win them masters and buy the masters back. Right? What? First off, you nasty RXPE supporting M Faker. Are you on drugs? You're talking about a broke bum RXPIST? I just know you ain't comparing him to people in the industry. FOH and stop being scary. Active and functioning. So then who's playing the role for Ad when he starts acting and functioning? And whatever the F his fat ass just said. And then here we go. Now, what did I just say, y'all? What did I just say? Okay. Now, remember I said that academics admits that he talks to Cardi B, right? What did this person say? Academics and Cardi B have clearly been talking about Nicki Minaj behind the scenes. This is the same thing Barney was spewing in the last fight she had with Nicki. Look at this narrative he's been paid to push, y'all. Unwind with Tasha. I hope you go after his fat ass. So now Tasha K, first of all, Tasha K better be watching because she's going to have to answer to Vlad TV because Vlad is getting ready to sue Tasha K. Just letting y'all know that. Vlad's getting ready to send her a cease and desist, and then if that don't work, he's going to sue her. All right? Putting y'all up on game early. Who's going to run Axe show when he starts his medication? Here's somebody agreeing with exactly what I said. I just said this. Now, I don't know this person. Yeah, right. She was crazy about Jay-Z and Rock Nation until they dragged him into court and was sitting outside his house. Nothing was wrong with that lady. Paranoid maybe, but crazy no. Exactly. I said the same thing. Ain't nothing wrong with her. I don't want Lil Wayne on Drake album. Wayne. Y'all don't like Wayne no more? Come on now, that's your phase mentor. Shout out to the GOAT, the greatest rapper alive, Dwayne Carter. Let's see. So yeah, so the people are not happy. The Barbs are not happy with what Fatademics is saying. Saying he's trying to shade Nicki Minaj by saying there's something wrong with her. And there ain't nothing wrong with her. Let me see these pictures. Hold on. Who is that? Hold on. Okay. So I thought that was interesting that he said that. Now he's gonna have to answer to the Barbs later on. He got to answer to the Barbs. Wayne, fuck all that up. He wasn't. Was a good leader. Darius, you've been on Wayne's head. You've been on Wayne's head talk. Okay. So let me find this thing. Hold on. Let me find. I have to find this right here. And the question is, who told Cardi B about Nicki Minaj's Amex? Who? Tristan was the dude. So, hold on a minute. So here we go. This was back on October of 2025, right? So hold on. Y'all let me land the plane because there's a method to my madness here. All right, so if you remember back in October 2025, right? In the midst of the Cardi B online rant fight with Nicki Minaj, around the time, I guess, right after her album drop. Okay. Her and Nicki Minaj going back and forth. They mention each other's children. I mean, them two just will never make up. They hate each other's guts, right? No matter what, they hate each other's guts. So now, remember, Cardi B tweeted this. She said, "Quiet is kept. The truth is, you've been diagnosed with schizophrenia and bipolar for almost 9 years. And you also on heavy drugs, cocaína, perks, and Xanax. You don't listen to nobody around you. The only person that have the power is Kenneth Petty. But you know what happens with that Amex when you are sedated. Right? Then a few weeks later, Nicki Minaj tweeted 3 different people in a span of 2 months charging my Amex without permission. Some couldn't even explain how they had the brand new card number. A couple of them have been doing it for years. Filed the first report a couple of weeks ago. They're all going to jail. So what happened about that? Right? I wonder what happened with that. Because a couple of days after that, Tasha K came out and said that it was Tristan that was stealing the Amex. And Ra Ali knew about it and was in cahoots with Tristan. Right? That's what Tasha K said. And Tasha K said she got that information from Onika. Then she said Ra Ali stole $30 million from her. Now, what happened to the people that was going to jail that she filed a report about? But the big question that I want to ask is, do you think that's just random? That Cardi B came out and said, everybody knows what happened to your Amex. Nobody was talking about Amexes. Right? You've been diagnosed for 9 years. Right? So 9 years is 2000, what? 17? $2017, right? So if she knew she'd been diagnosed for 9 years, that goes back to 2017, 2018, right? So, you know who back in 2017 or around 2018 was getting really close to Nicki Minaj? Who was getting really close to Nicki Minaj around 2018? And then they had a bad falling out. Who around 2017, 2018 was getting close with Nicki Minaj? And then they had a bad falling out. No, her and Karen are still cool. You're right, Couture, but her and Karen's still cool. And at that time, they were cool with Cardi B. No, Megan came a little after 2017. Megan came after 2017. So the person, because I don't want y'all to keep guessing. The person who was getting close to Nicki Minaj around 2018, that was close to Cardi B at that time, is Quavo. Quavo was cool with Cardi B. And remember, he kind of sided with Cardi B when it came down to the motorsport. So when they fell out years ago, Quavo told Cardi B, allegedly, that Nicki Minaj was crazy. And she got schizo. She's schizophrenic. You can use that for what it's worth, he told her. That beat's crazy. So Quavo was going around saying behind closed doors that she was schizophrenic, she's crazy, she's got medication. Because he's seen it. Right? Now, the recent Amex situation. Remember I told y'all earlier in the stream that I know one of Kenneth Petty's baby mothers. And I'll just say allegedly, because I don't want to get nobody in trouble. Allegedly, he still talks to her. And this has been going on now. I don't know whether it's still going on right now. Maybe she got caught. Maybe he got caught. But I did that video when 2025. Wasn't even a year ago. He was talking to this chick. Not even a year ago. She showed me. And I made the video about it. Now, I'm not going to show nobody. I at the time I did, but I cut out the whatever. But she was like, nah, I don't do that because there's no way that it could be anybody else. And you see what happened to Red Knoll. You know, she got beat up when she released his text message that said, we just trying to get some, she trying to get some money from Nicki. She told the whole world, and then she got beat up. So I don't want nobody to know. But for her to say the Amex, and then she started mentioning buying people jewelry and bags, I believe 100% Cardi B spoke to the same person I spoke to. That girl is from New York, and if I'm not mistaken, she's following Cardi B too. So this move with Nicki Minaj and the house and the changing of the address, I think that's pretty smart. I think that's pretty smart. Use your MAGA connections or whatever you got with them. However much you can muster out of Alex, Bruce a bitch. However much you can muster out of Cheese Doodle Face. And try to get some sort of loophole where you can move his address or his work address to New York. As I told y'all yesterday, that's actually the house that he got accused of graping Jennifer Yu in. Ain't that some shit? That's wild. It's wild that they even still own that house, but that's the house that he actually got accused of graping Jennifer in. That's the address. That's just wild. That shit is wild. Now, I hit up Jennifer. I was trying to ask her some information, but she's still in court with Kenneth Petty. So she was like, after court's over, I'll come do an interview on your channel, but I can't do it right now. All right, so we got to wait for Jennifer interview after her court case is settled. But I believe wholeheartedly she pulled a loophole and she's going to get a work, because you can have a work address and a home address. And I believe she's going to get him off of that home address, have him come to New York, stay there for a couple of months to establish residency, get mail there, right? And then, from what I was told, she's going to move. She's going to move. So she's going to quietly find a place before the year is up, and then just gradually, you're not going to see a moving truck or anything like that. She's just going to start gradually taking stuff over. So that way, her new address does not have to be registered if she has down there that he no longer lives with her and he now lives in New York. But he comes back and forth to California to see his son. You see? You see what I'm saying? We have a son together. He has visitation or whatever the case may be. So he still comes back and forth to California. He gets someone's birthday, holidays, woo, woo, woo. So that's going to be his reason for popping up in California. You know what I'm saying? Well, Elite, that's why I said the other day I'm ahead of the curve. Because I heard, she has an issue with the hurricanes, but I heard that she was going to move to either Florida or Texas. More than likely Florida, because they have no taxes. It's a no state taxes. Mar-a-Lago's out there too. Right? So don't be surprised if Nicki Minaj pops up in Florida next. Because she can sell this house or sell this home, right? She could sell this home and the house she can purchase in Florida with that money. On top of that, the whole trespassing thing She complains about California. Might as well leave. She seems to have an issue with California. She seems to have an issue with the governor. She keeps getting swatted. She keeps getting doxxed. Now she's got trespassers popping up in the house. Rihanna got the hell up out of there. A lot of people are getting the hell up out of California. You know what I mean? And because of all the issues she's had. And someone said he popped up on the Florida Red. I can very easily see. Because even if he's not at the house anymore, everybody already knows where the house is. Right? Everybody still know where the house is, so it don't matter whether he's there or not. Because everybody knows where the house is. But if you leave low key and then just pop up in Florida at some big ass house, to me, I think no taxes. Because they're saying, she's not broke, of course, but she's having some money issues. Not broke like how, she's down to her last dollar or whatever the case may be, but she's having some money issues. You saw the thing with the lawsuit. Then there's lawyers saying they wasn't getting paid. And then the thing with that house, she waited till the last minute. The rumor is that she got, help getting that money. And that she was waiving her appearance fee for the Trump stuff to get that taken care of. Now, that's just a rumor. That's just allegedly what was told to me. Right? Hey, I'm doing this for you. I'm popping up. I'm going to be getting you. A lot of my fans are going to be tuned in. You're going to a lot of people tuned in. Hey, and say I'm not going to charge you I'm not going to charge you an appearance fee, but maybe you can do something for me. I got this ridiculous lawsuit. I need to pay this. And then these appearances that I'm doing for MAGA, I won't charge you. Craziness. But again, we're going to follow this situation with the house. Now, the Met Gala. A lot of people, a lot of bars tweet me say, what do you think about this? Nicki Minaj flew out her stylist, flew out. It said her stylist flew out. Hold on. What do you think it is, Heaven? Let me try to find it. Oh, yeah, the bars was sending this to me, boy. Now, I don't know how recent this is, but I'm just going to take the Bob's word for it because I don't even know who this person is, right? Hold on. But the other day, here it is right here. So, let's look at this. So this is what the barber said to me. Oh, well, what do you think of that? What you got to say to that? And you know what's next week, don't you? The Met Gala. You said she wasn't going to the Met Gala. No, I said she wasn't invited to the Met Gala. Which she is not. So, what you're saying? Hold on. Here it says, looks like Queen of Rap is gearing up for a major appearance. He's showing New York City. Celebrity stylist. Maya Girardi boards the same private jet to New York that picked up Nicki Minaj's makeup artist. All right. This person says Nicki Minaj landed in New York on a private jet and she's blocked out all May. I think she might actually attend the Met Gala. Beyonce's Met Gala? Oh, man. Like I said, if you want some fireworks, I want to see her walk up in that Met Gala. Beyonce co-chairman, first time she's been there in 10 years. Nicki Minaj not invited. Cause you aren't invited. Cause you aren't invited. And now she's blocking out all of May now. It's New York as well. That's where the Met Gala is. Could she possibly go? Did she talk to Anna Wintour? And get Anna Wintour to make her a special guest? Even though she wasn't invited? Could she go as somebody's plus one? Right? Pull a jerk, as we used to say. I'm going as somebody's guest. Ariana's guest. But here's the problem. Here's the problem. Nicki Minaj missed the Grammys. And for the first time ever that I've ever seen, especially somebody of her status, especially an artist of her status, they announced she was missing the Grammys and the audience applauded. They were happy she wasn't coming. So Nicki Minaj at this Met Gala is going to be Sabrina Carpenter, Taylor Swift, Megan Thee Stallion, apparently, Doja Cat, Ice Spice, Cardi B, SZA. It's going to be a bunch of people, Jay-Z, Beyonce. It's going to be a bunch of people who she don't mess with. Billie Eilish. Now, she messed with all those people before her alignment with MAGA. But all those people, her and Sabrina Carpenter got a record. They got a record. And another one. But once the MAGA stuff started, Sabrina Carpenter said, yeah, we won't be doing that. Billie Eilish, same way. So the biggest event in Hollywood, even though it's in New York, the industry's biggest event, you got a bunch of people that day is going to be saying, thank God she didn't come. But if she popped up there, let me tell you something. It will be the most interesting night. Now, of course, we don't see what goes on inside the gala. And red carpet, depending on when you do it, may or may not see those people. But inside that gala is going to be a riot if she does do that. If she crashes Beyonce's Met Gala. So she blocked out Ola May, so I'm interested in seeing where she's going. Does she pop up as a surprise? Surprise! Oh, I'm low-key hoping for that. I'm telling you, man. I'm low-key hoping that she pops out at Beyonce's Met Gala. Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. Sheesh. But again, unless she has got a special invite. Remember Ice Spice a couple years ago? Ice Spice a couple years ago got a special invite, I think, to the red carpet. So maybe Nicki's just going to do the red carpet. Because a lot of people will think, man, what's she doing here? And she said, we eat people. Well, the people who are like the biggest industry folks that people say be involved in the rituals and stuff like that, they all go to the Met Gala. They all go to the Met Gala. So you can't talk MAGA and talk that these people are disgusting and this, that, and the third, and then show up, could you? MAGA won't like that. That would be interesting to see whether she says, oh, you understand these people eat children? Well, Beyonce and Jay-Z is going to be there, and she was one of the people that she was referring to or trying to insinuate that harm children. Well, these people who harm children are going to be at this Met Gala. Why would you want to hang out there? Right? Why would you want to hang out there? So, very interesting stuff. We're going to keep an eye on that, man. Y'all let me know. Y'all think Nicki gonna crash the Met Gala? What else could she possibly be doing that to? Or is she playing mind games, acting like she's gonna show up and, like I said, maybe go to the red carpet, or maybe she's got other things planned for May. But y'all can let me know if she's got the balls to pop up at that Met Gala. I mean, I guess it would be safe as anywhere else. Who's going to really do something at the Met Gala, right? I mean, they can get upset that she's there, but nobody's going to put hands on her. So what could really happen if you show up to the Met Gala uninvited? I got to look that up. I feel like Dolce is. Right, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, Couture. They say this is demonic, right? This is always what they say about the Met Gala. They say the Met Gala is demonic. Well, Nicki, after coming out and saying, oh, I now give my life over to God, and she's saved now, and it's about Jesus Christ, and, you know, I see myself with another calling other than rap. And these people eat babies, and don't you think these people harm children? And you can't then come out and go to this Met Gala. You're going to look crazy. You're going to look crazy. Then all the MAGA people are going to be like, wait a minute, I thought you said that you was down with Jesus Christ now. You still with them peoples. Right? And let's see what they're saying. Last but not least, I just want to get into some of the things they're saying about Meg Thee Stallion. Oh, let me go over this. Let me go over this real quick. Jay-Z. Then I'll touch on Meg. Jay-Z. Boy, I tell you, I've never seen a man who makes people spiral from interviews as much as they do with Jay-Z. Oh, who made him? Who made him the spokesman for music? Nobody. Nobody said Jay-Z was the spokesman. Y'all are the ones who are saying it. Y'all are the ones who are giving him this title. Jay-Z never came out and said, honestly, they say, he said we're past kneeling. Yeah, well, why did he say we're past kneeling? Because Colin Kaepernick took a settlement. Right? Oh, where did that come from? Okay, hold on. That's my Twitter. Sorry. Okay. Oh, all right. So I see my live here on Twitter. All right. So here we go. So at least I know I can hear myself. Let me X out. So Jay-Z, right? Everyone is saying, whoa, what? Mind you, Jay-Z said the very same thing over 20 years ago. Right. And everybody's complaining about it. So he says, In a feature on America's Top Songwriters published April 27, Jay-Z reflected on his path from 1996 Street Tales on Reasonable Doubt to the introspection of 2017 444. He praised the Clips brothers Pusha T and No Malice for their authentic 2025 reunion. Let God sort them out, rooted in a personal loss and maturity, while warning that forcing young music feels fake. Fans debated if his words shaded Drake. What? What? So, oh my goodness. If fans shaded Drake's trend blending style, with some calling out Jay-Z's own past lines like 30's the new 20. Right. But many nodded to the timeless call for the real storytelling and rap. But you have to remember something. 30's the new 20. If you listen to that record, it wasn't about trying to act 20. That's not what the record was about. The record wasn't about acting young. Right? The record was about saying, even I'm 30, but I'm still as hot as you. I'm still just as hot as you are, and you're in your 20s. It wasn't about trying to act 20. People don't even, I bet you everyone that's commenting on that haven't even heard the record. You know what I'm saying? They were not talking about Jay-Z and the Epstein files. Once again, we got to go over this again. Nobody mentioned Jay-Z and the Epstein files. Not one witness, not one victim of Epstein. Jay-Z was in the Epstein files because of an anonymous tip who people still have not recognized. And the anonymous tip said they woke up with Weinstein and they happened to see Jay-Z. They were not talking about Jay-Z and Epstein files. If you look back at that tip, the Epstein files, the FBI even said these anonymous tip lines a lot of the times are false, but they have to log the call. So if I called up that anonymous tip line today and said, yeah, I was being abused by Harvey Weinstein, and I woke up at Epstein's house and Kenji B was there. Guess what? Kenji B is going to be in the Epstein files. You're going to be in the Epstein files because they have to log whatever people say. But when they went to that person for follow-up and for evidence and proof, they didn't have any. The same people said Pusha T. The same person said Pusha T. But Pusha T is not mentioned anywhere in the Epstein files by any witnesses. No victims. Not one person said, yeah, Jay-Z was around. Yeah, Jay-Z great me. Yeah, Pusha T great me. Nobody said that. It's the same thing with Beyonce. Beyonce's in the Epstein file because somebody said, can you get me some Beyonce tickets? That's why Beyonce's in the Epstein files. There's no one in there saying, oh, Beyonce was around. Beyonce did something. Beyonce finger popped me. Beyonce tried to touch me. Beyonce. But they got stories about that, about Donald Trump. So, and like I've done before, You can go to the Department of Justice and type in Nicki Minaj, or you can go to the Department of Justice and type in Epstein, Taylor Swift, or you can go to the Department of Justice and type in Epstein, Ariana Grande, and all of them come up. They all come up. Because it's not whether you're mentioned in the Epstein files, it's how you're mentioned. It's how you're mentioned that's important. That's the reason why they're not going after Harvey Levin. And everybody said, oh yeah, Harvey was in Epstein files. There's nowhere in the Epstein files that any witness said Harvey Levin did something. That's the reason why he's not being deposed. That's the reason why he doesn't have to testify. That's the reason why he's not being charged. Because it's not whether you get mentioned or not. It's how you're mentioned and why you're mentioned. Because there's a lot of people mentioned in the Epstein files. Nicki Minaj was mentioned in the Epstein files about a rental car. Somebody was saying, Nicki Minaj didn't return a rental car to an agency. You can find that in the Epstein files. But they're not going to arrest her for that. Mm-hmm. Because she didn't do anything. There's no witnesses saying, oh yeah, Nicki Minaj was around. Right, that's what I'm saying, Mimi. When people always say that, like I said, that's the people that don't like Jay-Z. There were no black men in the Epstein files doing anything. Because Epstein said, if anybody had been looking at the files, Epstein did not want no Negroes. He didn't want no BBC smashing them young white girls. He was afraid they was going to get addicted like everybody else. Epstein didn't want no BBC on Epstein Island. All them witnesses, all those stories, all those girls that came forth, not one of them mentioned a black man. Not one. Not one of them mentioned a black man. But y'all want to talk about Jay-Z's in the Epstein file. Pusha T in the Epstein file. Pusha T? Really? Not even Drake. Not even 50 Cent. Pusha T? If they was going to pick a black man, I can guarantee you it wouldn't be Pusha T. Push. Y'all funny. It would not be Pusha T. Right. Obama, because they were talking shit about him because they so much on this nigga balls. Let me tell you something. Obama's balls probably hurt every day. Obama wakes up every day with sore balls because these niggas is on his nuts every day. Obama ain't been president in 10 years. And every day, somebody is swinging on this nigga balls like Tarzan. Oh, Obama. talking shit about him with a well-known homosexual. Okay. What does that mean? He wore matching socks with a well-known homosexual. Okay. But what does that got to do with the Epstein file? You know? That's two different things. If he wore socks, matching socks with it's fashion, right? Whole lot of them motherfuckers do weird shit for fashion. Kanye West is walking around with a skirt. Usher wore a skirt. A whole lot of them do weird shit with fashion. ASAP Rocky's wore a skirt. And them little Red Riding Hood shoes. You see them red shoes he had on? But yet and still, he's with Rihanna, so nobody said nothing about him. He's with Rihanna. That boy had on little Red Riding Hood shoes. Dorothy. Clicked his heel 3 times. I thought he was going to go up to Oz. But no, I understand, Kenji. You're right. I seen that. I was like I said, all that fashion stuff with men who are supposed to be straight, it's all weird to me. I mean, they talk about gay men. Everybody always got something to say about the gays, but then they be trying to dress like them. You know what I mean? They always got something to say about this person gay, that person gay, this, that. Then why don't y'all let the gay men dress the way they dress? Why y'all got to copy the way the gay men dress? But they always got shit to say about somebody gay. But you be copying the way they dress. Gay men been carrying purses. They been wearing platform shoes. They been dyeing their hair blonde. Right, they been painting their nails. One of my closest friends, Errol, he's a gay man. Errol he's always been into the village, down in Greenwich Village. I remember way back in the early 2000s. I've known this dude practically all my life. Early 2000, I would see him going out to the club, having platform shoes on, makeup, nails done, hair dyed blonde mohawk, the man purse. Been doing that shit forever. But everybody, they want to talk. They talk shit about him. But now look at all these dudes. Look at all these dudes. Usher too. Drake. Usher. Young Thug. Pusha. They do. I'm telling you, they do. But then say, "Oh, I'm straight." But then they get mad, like they dress like the gays been dressing, but then get mad when people say something about it. You know what I mean? But then when gay men back in the day with the Blacktino. There was a little underground movement in the 90s called Blacktino. A little before your time, Darius. But Blacktino was a movement in New York where it was black and Latino men that were on the down low. And they would just dress like regular thug niggas. Timbs, baggy jeans. You know what I mean? But they were dudes, they were gay on the low. But they dressed like just regular thug niggas, they were regular street niggas. And they would be in this movement called Blacktino, black and Latin men that was on the DL. But they were thugs. And then people start, that's where the term homo thug came from. That's when they first started saying homo thug. Right? So if straight men didn't like gay men dressing like them, what makes straight men think gay men like you dressing like them? You said, oh, you they would say you are misleading people, dressed up like a thug. You dressed up like you're misleading women. They think that you like girls. When you dress like that. Okay. So the gay guys can't dress like the straight guys, but the quote unquote straight guys can dress like the gay guys? Okay. Bottom line is, a lot of these dudes, right? And Cal said it right. They're jealous and secretly DL by. A lot of these dudes, they're curious. And they want to be sexually fluid. But because of their place in society or because of what they do, they could never be seen. And they could never let that out. But a lot of these dudes, and not just in the industry, a lot of these dudes be wanting these men. And they be wanting to be, they be curious. I wonder what it'd be like. A lot of them. Wonder what it would be like to be with him. You know? So, you see it in adult entertainment all the time. Adult entertainment, you see it all the time. Dudes are with girls, and then they're like, okay, they'll do a DP scene. And they're like, okay, I'm already touching. The nigga's balls is already touching mine, so then you find out that the gay for pay, rate is a little higher than just boy girl. So I remember when I used to produce porn, like the gay for pay thing wasn't very popular then, right? But the men that did do it, they would say, oh, if they do like a blowjob scene, right, with another man, they would say, I just close my eyes. I just close my eyes and picture it being a girl, a female. When I open my eyes, I have my check. So there's different things that they used to try to do to get past it, to get that money. Mm-hmm. I've never produced all my scenes that I produced was either boy, girl, or girl, girl, or 2 girls and a guy, 3 girls and a guy. I think the most scene I ever did was 4 girls and a guy, I think. But yeah. Yeah, the fashion world's crazy. But I don't know how I got on that. That's the good thing about this stream. We'll be talking about something and then somebody will make a comment and then we just go somewhere else with it. And that's perfectly fine. But my whole thing was that Jay-Z, and on my later stream, we'll go back and we'll pick up on that. We'll pick up from there. I'm about to end this stream. We're going to pick up on the evening stream and we'll pick up on Jay-Z. Got everybody spiraling because he said that, young music, people can't talk young if they're not young because it will be unauthentic. So, and I agree with him. But academics and all the OVO people thinking he taking a shot at Drake. They want him to take a shot at Drake so bad. But we'll catch you on the next one. If you want to donate and help me out and support me, $ Heaven Hollywood for my Cash App. I appreciate y'all for taking your time out. Spend some time with me. All right. I'm going to holler at y'all in the next one. Peace.